Hey guys. So for this lesson here, what we're going to talk about is changing the way you think about what is good, what is bad, as well as the criteria you use to get to what is good and what is bad. I think almost all of us on this journey are probably at some point we need to really confront within ourselves and we need to confront the world we live in, and we need to ask ourselves, okay, is this truly good or is this truly bad? Okay, I got two hands. Is this truly good? Is this truly bad? Like we as individuals need to come to those answers. And I think for those of us that are on the road to recovery as well as the road of self-understanding, I think it is extremely important that all of us really start asking ourselves, what preconceived notions do I have? What systems do I have in my head right now? What judgment criteria do I have in my head that led me to where I am today? And I think we need to honestly look at ourselves and say, okay, are part of my maladaptive coping strategies, are part of my toxic behaviors, are part of my pathological tendencies, are part of that based on some preconceived notions of good and bad that just are not in sync with reality, or at least not in sync with my own well being. I think we need to ask ourselves that. And I would say that, in my own journey, I had to come to this conclusion a long time ago that what I consider good today may not be what I considered good yesterday. And what I considered bad today may not be what I considered bad yesterday. And part of pushing those two things in different directions is coming up with new criteria, with new standards to decide what is good and what is bad. So, for example, if you would have asked me 10 years ago to say, hey, Jonathan, is it a good thing to set a boundary with a person? I would have said probably no. I said that's probably bad. If you would have said, hey, Jonathan, is it bad when someone gets mad at you? I'd say absolutely that's bad. People shouldn't be mad at me. People should like me. So there's two old definitions. Those are two old perspectives I had on those two things, which is, number one, that setting boundaries was bad. At least at that time, I considered it bad. People getting mad at me was considered bad at that time. I've changed my viewpoints and I consider setting boundaries a good thing today. I consider it okay if someone is upset with me. It's not the end of the world. So, and part of that is also just based on, what criteria I use to decide is it good and bad. But we need to honestly ask ourselves and evaluate ourselves and say, look, I am doing A, B, and C. Is this benefiting me or is this harming me? Am I doing this because I think that ABC is good when in actuality it's bad? Am I avoiding ABC because I think it's bad? I think we really need to step outside of ourselves and step outside of our upbringing and really start to form our own perspectives and our own systems on what is good and what is bad. That we can't simply think that what we thought was good 10 years ago is going to be still good today. It might not be. And it's okay if it's not. At the same time, we can't assume that what we thought was bad 10 years ago is bad today. And it's okay if you had the wrong idea 10 years ago. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. You're here to grow from it. You're here to learn from it. That's a phenomenal experience to be a part of. And I'm here with you on that journey. because I'm still trying to figure this all out myself too. I'm still trying to figure out what's good and bad for me and what's good and bad for the people around me. But what I'm saying is that you need to just pull it back and just say, wait, I've already got an idea. Let's assume I might be wrong. What evidence can I find to support that I'm wrong? What evidence can I find to support that I'm right in that judgment? And then take it from there. So I'm not asking you to reevaluate every single moral decision you've ever made or every single ethical decision, but what I am saying is that when you do make future decisions, you need to honestly ask yourself, is this still good? Is this still bad? And what criteria am I using to get to those conclusions? So I think for all of us, that is a very beneficial thing to do, which is to ask ourselves what is good and what is bad, because I can just tell you some of the most important things that I've learned in my life is because I had to allow myself to say, wait a minute, everyone's telling me this is bad. What if they're wrong? What if I'm wrong? And it turns out some of the most important things that I've adopted and I've learned, I probably in my past would have considered bad, or the people in my past would have considered it bad. But I've decided it's good. And I hope you can figure out what is your good as well, too. See ya.